Only a few athletes in history, regardless of the sport, have had a career like Kobe Bryant. Even fewer can say they transcended their chosen sport, the way the Los Angeles Lakers superstar did during his 20 years in the NBA. Kobe earned accolades most players can only dream of: MVP awards, NBA championships, Olympic medals, and a place in basketball history as one of the best players who ever played. Kobe was incredibly visible on the court, with a 6'6" frame and impressive skills. But outside of the game, he often felt like an enigma. He did a bit of everything from perusing the streets of Hollywood, to trying his hand at rapping, to creating animated films and fantasy books. Kobe was a family man and eventually the father of 4 daughters, who seemed to find both restlessness and contentment during his short retirement. It may seem that there isn't much more to know about Kobe, but in this video, we'll bring out the story of how Kobe actually came into the NBA and landed in LA with the Lakers. Back in 1996, Kobe Bryant was a high school graduate from Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia. He was a local star on a high school level, but no one could have actually really seen how good this kid could be. No one but Jerry West. At the time, the high school players were still not very welcomed in the NBA before going to college. The previous year, Kevin Garnett became the first player after 20 years to get into the big league right after high school. Kobe attended Lower Merion High School in Philly, where he developed his iconic aggressive playing style and led his team to win in the 1996 PIAA State Championship over Erie Cathedral Prep with a score of 48-43. He scored nearly 3,000 points during his high school career. In April 1996, Bryant announced he would skip college and go straight to the NBA to pursue his goal of becoming the best basketball player. Kobe's decision got the attention of Jerry West, who was aware that Bryant has a potential to become a superstar. West was the Lakers' general manager at the time, and they had the 24th overall pick. West knew that Kobe would not be available that late in the draft, and had to find a way to land the young talent in LA. Another team that was interested in Kobe was the New Jersey Nets. They had the 8th overall pick at the draft, and had just hired John Calipari as a new head coach. Calipari himself was a huge fan of Kobe, and he was pushing the front office to select Bryant. After working him out 3 times before the draft, Calipari knew the guard would be a star. But it isn't always as simple as writing a player's name on a card and handing it to the commissioner to be announced. Calipari and the Nets general manager, John Nash, hosted a dinner for Kobe's parents, Joe and Pam Bryant, to discuss a potential future for their son in New Jersey. It was a catered dinner in a hotel near the Nets arena, where the 1996 draft would be held. Nash and Calipari told Kobe's parents that New Jersey would be choosing their son with the 8th overall pick. Kobe's dad, Joe, who was a former NBA player, thought Kobe would start as a rookie for the Nets and be all-star caliber his second year. Nash and Calipari believed Joe Bryant's hopes for his son were a little high, but they were still committed to selecting him, and they believed the Bryants were satisfied with the situation. As it turns out, that wasn't true. During that time, Kobe didn't stay still, and he had many workouts with different teams. One of the strangest images of Kobe wearing Celtics gear dates back to that time, but the workouts that will change the whole game were held in Los Angeles. Kobe had 2 workouts with the Lakers, the second against star Lakers defender Michael Cooper. After 10 minutes of that practice, Jerry West was convinced the organization had to do whatever it takes to get Bryant. But that wouldn't be easy at all. The Lakers had the 24th pick in the draft, and there was no way Bryant would fall that far. West told Bryant's agent at the time, Arn Tellem, that Kobe would be a top 3 pick. West wasn't the only one who believed that Kobe is a one-of-a-kind potential. Another person who was impressed by Kobe was Tony DeLeo, who at the time was in the Philadelphia 76ers personnel department. DeLeo had seen Bryant play pickup games against Sixers players the previous year in Philly, and had been impressed by Kobe's supreme confidence. DeLeo also said that Bryant would play one-on-one with Jerry Stackhouse, the 3rd overall pick in 1995, and the games were very, very competitive. At one point, Sixers coach John Lucas had to stop the competition because it had become too intense. DeLeo had seen Bryant play several times at Lower Merion, and had helped prepare him for his pre-draft workouts. He was so convinced Bryant would be a star that he pitched 2 ideas to new Sixers general manager Brad Greenberg. Since the Sixers won the draft lottery and had the 1st overall pick, DeLeo suggested selecting Kobe first. Greenberg considered that too big of a risk, as they have already been determined to pick Allen Iverson with the 1st pick. DeLeo also suggested trading Stackhouse for a lottery pick and choosing Bryant. It is a question if that would work out, But a pairing of Bryant and Iverson would have been fascinating to watch, but that never happened. As draft day came, the Nets were still planning to select Bryant. All that changed over a course of several hours. At the time, the Nets were owned by a group of 7 men, including Joe Taub, who was charged with overseeing the basketball operations. He was not too enthusiastic about Bryant joining the team. Taub feared that the Nets would invest time in this young player, bring him along, and when the time came, he would leave in free agency, just like Kenny Anderson and Derek Coleman did in previous years. During lunchtime, the Nets were informed that Kobe's parents were no longer interested in their son going to New Jersey. Nash made some phone calls to find out what was going on. Calipari asked David Pendergraft, New Jersey's director of player personnel, what he had thought, and he said that someone probably already has a deal with Bryant. He was right. Jerry West was making contracts with teams that were higher on the draft board to find a partner that would allow him to grab Bryant. He found one in Charlotte, who had the right on the 13th pick. The idea that Bryant would fall to the 13th spot was quite surprising to West, who believed the guard was a top 3 talent. Meanwhile, at dinner in the Nets locker room before the draft, Calipari announced to the owners and others that the team would be choosing Kerry Kittle, a shooting guard out of Villanova's, but that is if he was available at number 8. The Nets would take Bryant no matter what. When the Los Angeles Clippers selected Lorenzen Wright, 7th overall, Calipari heard an outburst of cheers from the other side of the wall in the Nets draft room. The owners were happy. Kittles would be a Net. So the real question is, would have the Nets really selected Bryant if Kittles was already drafted? That will remain a mystery. So after the Nets picked up Kittles, there were 4 more teams on the board that could have stolen Bryant from the Hornets, who West had a deal with. Dallas, Indiana, Golden State, and Cleveland all went for big men, and the NBA history saw players such as Samaki Walker, Eric Dampier, Todd Fuller, and Vitaly Potapenko all being drafted before Kobe. The Hornets were next. They kept the word to select Kobe Bryant and trade him right away for center Vlade Divac, who should have moved from LA to Charlotte. But things didn't go that easy. The deal between the two teams wasn't finalized until 13 days after the draft, because Divac initially balked at being traded and threatened to retire if the deal was made. Shortly after, he changed his mind and agreed to play for the Hornets. The deal was done. Kobe joined the Lakers only 1 week after the team signed free agent Shaquille O'Neal, and Jerry West, just like that, built the Lakers team for the future. At 18 years and 72 days, Kobe became the youngest player in history to play an NBA game at the time, but took a season or 2 to find his feet in the league. His confidence got him in the league that early, but it didn't get him many friends on the team as the veterans were not very fond of his behavior. Kobe didn't play much in his rookie season, as he averaged only 7.6 points per game in 15.5 minutes. He had to wait for his opportunity while the rest of the 1996 draft class was shining already. Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby, Antoine Walker, Stephon Marbury, and Ray Allen already had star minutes on their teams. Still, Kobe was able to make a name for himself by winning the NBA Slam Dunk Contest in his rookie season. His dunks at the All-Star Weekend in Cleveland made him a star, and he was already one of the favorite players of the NBA fans. When the playoff time came, Kobe probably had the biggest lesson of his young basketball career. In the 1996 Western Conference semifinals against the Utah Jazz, with the game on the line, Bryant shot 4 air balls that cost his team a victory. The Lakers' teammates and fans were not very supportive of him. He later recounted in the Muse documentary that when he got back to Los Angeles, he went to a nearby high school and spent the entire day shooting in the gym. It was a defining moment that changed the trajectory of his career, with him coming out as stronger the following season. In the 1997-98 season, things were way different for Kobe. He still wasn't a starter for the Lakers, but Coach Del Harris was giving him regular minutes in the rotation. Kobe's popularity grew so fast that he was a starter at the All-Game in New York, despite not being a starter in his own team. Kobe and Shaq became a great duo, and the Lakers were starting to take over the league. The Lakers acquired head coach Phil Jackson in 1999, and Showtime was back in Los Angeles. With Shaq being the most dominant player in the league, and Kobe rising into a superstar, the Lakers won 3 consecutive championships from 2000 to 2002. Kobe had 3 rings by the age of 23, becoming the youngest player in NBA history to accomplish that. But Kobe didn't stop there. As his game went to another level, he wanted a team on his own. The Lakers were basically put in a situation to choose between Shaq and Kobe, as they decided to go with the younger one. With Shaq gone in 2004, the Lakers became Kobe's team. After a couple of years of struggling, Kobe took the Lakers to 2 more championships, in 2009 and 2010. On the way, he won his only regular season MVP award in 2008. He made 18 All-Star appearances, winning the MVP award on 4 occasions. He was named to 11 All-NBA first teams. 9 times he was in the best defensive teams, and led the league in scoring twice. In 2006, Kobe scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors, which is the second most in NBA history. He retired in 2016, dropping 60 on the Utah Jazz. After his retirement, the city of Los Angeles declared August 24th, a combination of Bryant's 2 jersey numbers, Kobe Bryant Day. Sadly, Kobe Bryant's life was cut short in a helicopter accident in Calabasas, California, on January 26, 2020. The legendary basketball player died alongside his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 other people on board, including the pilot.